I want you to get together.
Let's move on. Let's move on from politics. That goes nowhere good. One
Nope.
thing you mentioned earlier, Abby, which I thought was interesting, is the NPC concept, and I'm sure you both remember the whole literal NPC phenomena that was very short lived. It lasted for about a month, the hype, and then it vanished. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like people were literally making a lot of money. Is it still a thing? I don't know. I don't want to look, but people were pretending to be computer characters and getting a lot of money from this. And I I think I made a video saying, these are still people at the end of the day, okay? Because this is before this started to happen, all right? And I was making a remember episode. Do you remember when people started calling everyone NPCs? I was saying this is dehumanizing. You shouldn't be doing this. Like they're just people who are lost to the system. We've all kind of been there, and it's not fair to call them NPCs. We're all human. And then like a week later, that woman's out there going game and like licking ice cream and getting loads of money
Yeah.
and then I made another video saying, yeah, I was wrong, these people are real, never mind. Like they don't, like, they don't, yeah, they take it all back.
Take it back.
But what can be said for these people who have found some kind of peace in pretending to be a fictional character in a real world, in a sense, because you look at it and you think, oh, maybe they're just doing it for money, but some of them aren't making any money and are still doing it. What is this? What is this phenomenon? Do you have any insights into a retrospective insight into what happened there? What do you guys think?
I love the people who are brave enough to be real people. And I love them very, very much. And whenever I find them, I don't want to let them go. But I know how hard it is to be this way, to live this way. And so I think that whenever I find someone who's not real and who's buried themselves in that, I wish they chose something different, but I get it, I guess.
Yeah, Abby said plenty of times that like being NPC is not like the Gnostic version. We went to the CPAC conference, the conference on procession and ancient knowledge, where there was this guy who got up and said, "You people here are definitely real people. Other people outside probably are literally fake. They're holograms. They don't exist." Like the whole Gnostic thing, right?
Yeah.
And this is a growing belief in the conspiracy theory thing, especially in the Gnostic New Age stuff.
Yeah.
But Abby said it before. It's like being an NPC is a choice, right? Like you choose whether you're going. Like this is kind of my thought. We were talking about this on Paranoid American the other night, and that episode hasn't come out yet. But um, there's a certain point where you see things and you know things, and you can choose to know them, or you can choose to say fake steak tastes good, to use the overused Matrix analogy. Um, but yeah, there's another part to this too that I want to talk about with like people are being led to become AI. They're being led to become not real. And we see that like I'm having this thing at my work right now. I'll try not to like go off on like work related stuff too much. But there's people who sit in an office all day and they get paid to create problems where there weren't problems before. And their whole job is to say, here's a spreadsheet, here's something that's going really well, but if we look at it in this way, it's not going well because I need it to be look like this on a spreadsheet. It doesn't matter that in reality, a job on the ground works this way, or in reality, certain things work this way. Or when you say something, I know what you mean, but I'm going to choose to interpret it in the most literalistic, like robotic AI chatbot type way. And people are starting to act like this on purpose, and they're being encouraged to do this by a system, by their employers, by whatever. And it's becoming increasingly frustrating to be like, no, this is how life works in reality, and it doesn't matter how it works in theory. But people are accepting that this is how things work in theory. This is how things look on the spreadsheet. This is how things look when I take it this way. And they're becoming NPCs, and they're going to get replaced by AI. Their jobs are all going to get replaced by AI because they can't think smarter than AI. They can't think about how things actually work in the real world. And that's like the most growing concerning trend to me, is that people are just, they themselves are acting more like AI than they're acting like humans.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how else to describe that, but like that's an actual concern. But all of this comes back to its choice. It's not this Gnostic New Age idea that there are actual holograms out there and that I'm better than everybody else around me because I'm a real person and they're just, a glitch in the Matrix or something. That's horse crap. But
Well,
the real people, it's just unfortunate. They're just choosing to not be.
Well, we know for certain that birds aren't real, though.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we can at least settle on that.
Yeah.
I get this thing you're talking about, this danger, this idea that people are mistaking the map for the territory. Like
Yeah.
the rules and logistics we have in place don't actually represent reality itself and people, And I do think a lot of people are willing to follow the algorithms laid out in front of them rather than actually live in the real world and actually see how that the decisions affect people. So this robotic nature does seem to, I suppose in a way it's an easy way out for people to just become an AI because you don't have to think anymore. All the options are laid out for you, and you let a machine make the choice for you. And like, what can be said though in the future when these people do lose their jobs? What are they going to do if they've turned themselves into like robotic thinking creatures that now have no purpose? What can we?
They're gonna
What will
they're
happen?
gonna turn to drugs, man. They're gonna live in the pod and watch a VR headset and
Yeah.
take LSD and be not real people. Like that is exactly what's gonna happen to these people because they didn't see the trend. They didn't see, you know what, there's something unique to being a human that I can offer to the world that an AI can't. And instead I'm gonna function and change my brain to think like an AI. And they're stupid and they're not seeing where it's going and they're gonna their lives are gonna suck because of it, unfortunately. Because I can think of 10 people in the office right now where I work that could be replaced by Chat GPT tomorrow, and they don't realize it, and they're encouraging it. Unfortunately, like they're feeding into it.
I mean, it's funny because I'm a photographer. That's what I do myself. I'm a wedding photographer. I started the business this year with my wife, and I've started the business, and AI, it does everything. Okay, and don't let the people know because I'd be out of a job if people knew how easy it actually was to edit their own photos. Okay, I don't have to do anything anymore. An algorithm can make everything look amazing in a second by clicking a button, and editing is now a breeze to what it used to be years ago, and it's even I'm seeing my own business I've just started may actually become obsolete soon. All they need to hire is a drone that can take the photos for them, and I'm fully out of a job. You know what I mean? They can just upload it to their own computer and click, run algorithm, and it'll edit all the photos for them and compile it for them in a second. So even I'm seeing it in an industry you would think needs a person. It's kind of no, actually, no job is safe in that respect. It literally can all come down to an automated system one way or the other. So it is a scary thought. Absolutely.
It's also that you only value a human doing the job if you value humanity. So if you yourself are an AI, you're not going to mind that the product you're receiving is produced by an AI. Any real human is going to prefer a real human photographer till the end of time, right? But those are becoming more rare.
But unfortunately, people just don't value humanity anymore. Like you said, they don't value humanity, so they're not opposed to this, and they'll only be opposed to it once it's their job. And it's like that whole, they came for them and I didn't do anything, and then they're going to come for my job. It's going to be like, oh, the end of the world. How could they replace me? Look, I'm a truck driver right now. Automated trucks are probably going to replace truck drivers. I can think of a million reasons why we shouldn't do it. And I don't want to feed into the system, but that is where it's heading.
Well, do you on long haul drives, do you have to stop to sleep?
Well, I don't do long haul trucking, but yes, yeah, I'd stop for breaks and things like that. An automated truck doesn't have to.
Well, that's an issue right there. Just get rid of it.
That's what they're doing to us, though. They're like tracking down on the hours and like, hey, can you take less breaks? Can you drive for 16 hours at a stretch without stopping for food? And it's like, I can't because I'm a human being, and you used to understand that, but now you're looking at your spreadsheet, and you want me to be the AI. So
it's the same when I worked in a supermarket, and Aldi is infamous for being less people, less hours, do more. That's basically what the whole ethos is. And I have the knees of a 65-year-old man after working there for 10 years. I have maybe 3 bends left before I'm done. Like and I left that behind because I realized I can make more money now doing what I'm doing now than working myself to death for these companies that literally it's just it all comes down to KPIs, key performance indicators. Are you hitting these points on this board here at the end of each month? And if not, you're in trouble. And that's all the managers care about. So they will work people to death just to hit an extra 0.1% on a certain target, and that's all that matters. Like, they're not your friends, they don't care about you, and if they could automate the system, they will automate that system. They do not care. Like, and I don't think people are prepared for just how cold business can really be. Because you get these people, it's like, oh, these bosses who say, we're a family. Do not believe that for 1 second.